Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on Elite Academy. You must have come across a story about these two actors, very famous actors, Tamil actors, Dhanush and Nayanthara. So what is this story about Nayanthara versus Dhanush? And what is this legal maxim, the legal maxim of de minimis non curate lex? And why we are talking about it? Why for UPSC? Why actors in UPSC? So there is a special reference. I will tell you the story. I will tell you its importance for prelims. I will tell you its importance for mains, and I will also cover the static plus the previous year question which has been asked by UPSC. Definitely it has a purpose. That's why I am discussing it and covering it. But before you get curious about this story, before I delve deeper into it, let me ask you, can you solve this question? The question is, which one of the following terms represents the maxim, no man or person shall be condemned unheard? You have to tell which maxim. Is it non bis in idem or audi alterum partem? This question was asked by UPSC in one of the exam conducted in the year 2022, April. It is a UPSC question. UPSC has already asked this question. So the point is, such legal maxims, such Latin phrases is one of the area of focus area, the priorities area for UPSC. Every time I give you the perspective at the end, but let me give you this perspective in the starting itself. Nowadays UPSC is exhausting the questions from polity. जो polity के regular questions आते हैं वो exhaust हो चुके हैं. Now अब बेस कहाँ से मिलेगा? या तो वो lesser known information NCERT से है, या peripheral area से है, current affairs से है, या the applied aspect, ऐसे applied aspect जो law के हैं. These are the new areas of UPSC. And they have already proved that they are asking such questions. So this is the important perspective. That's why today's video becomes very, very important. So you must have come across this news in Indian Express, The Hindu, या जो भी आपका Popular Times of India है, या जो भी आपकी मसाला न्यूज जो देते हैं, वहां भी ये न्यूज आई होगी. You would have come across that why Dhanush is suing lady superstar Nayanthara. Actor Dhanush sues Nayanthara before Madras High Court. So what is the dispute? It is related to what? What is the story? I am going to talk about it. तो आपको मसाला भी मिलेगा. So let me tell you the whole story. First of all, you should know जो ये actor धनुष साहब हैं, धनुष साहब की एक अपनी प्रोडक्शन हाउस है, एंड उस प्रोडक्शन कंपनी का नाम है दी वंडर बार फिल्म्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड. एंड they have recently filed a civil suit in Madras High Court. And Madras High Court ने permission दिया, yes you can go ahead to file the civil suit, जो basic preliminary inquiry थी उसको देखते हुए. And they have filed a civil suit against Nayanthara, her husband who is a director, husband Vignesh, and against her company Rowdy Pictures Private Limited. For what? Because she has used, her documentary is coming, Netflix पे उनकी एक documentary आ रही है. In that documentary she is saying that she has used a 3-second behind BTS scene, behind the scene, 3 seconds का एक वीडियो उन्होंने यूज किया है उस documentary में. The name of the documentary which is there on the Netflix coming on, उसके ट्रेलर में ये दिखाया गया है. The name of that is Nayanthara Beyond the Fairy Tale, where she has used the videos of her life और उनकी life, marriage and other aspects of her life in that web series, in that Netflix series documentary में आ रही है. But others are saying it is not 3 second, 37 second की वीडियो है. Now that behind the scene video was taken, and from where it has been used, it is already there on the YouTube, but it was from the sets of Nanam Rowdy Dhan. अब इसका pronunciation अगर तमिल में कुछ हो then please pardon me, but yes, this was a movie which was under the production house, Dhanush का जो production house है, they have made this movie in 2015 where she acted Nanam Rowdy Dhan. Somebody is saying no, definitely Nayanthara and her husband is saying that no, it was shot on a private mobile and it is already there on YouTube. The Dhanush and his production, his company is saying no, it is whatever it is, related to that movie, it is our copyright. Yes, so this is the story. But from UPSC point of view, from civil services point of view, from polity point of view, two things are very important for us, and these two things are Copyright Act 1957 and legal maxim de minimis non curate lex. What is it? I'm going to talk about it in detail. But before we talk about the first one, have you solved this question? Have you solved this question which we have posted on our Telegram channel? And let me tell you, this is a previous year question which was asked by UPSC in 2019. It is related to Indian Patents Act. It is related to Intellectual Property Appellate Board, related to plant varieties. So basically this question has been a asked by UPSC. And why? Because it is something related to intellectual IPR related. And in this video also we are talking about that only. So this is a previous year question in 2019. Have you solved this question also on our Telegram channel, which we have posted today itself? This question is with respect to the National Intellectual Property Rights Policy. This question was asked by UPSC in 2017. So UPSC has been asking questions on the copyrights or IPR related things. So we should be thorough with it. Now let's talk about the first one, Copyrights Act 1957. So with respect to Copyrights Act 1957, we should know these points in detail. थोड़ा बहुत भी पता रहेगा, then we will be in a position to mark the right answer. For example, what are these provisions and what they are talking about, we will discuss. The first one, saying the definition of the copyright, section 14. Under this, exclusive rights to do or authorize others to do certain acts concerning a work or a substantial part of it is allowed. So this is applicable to literary, dramatic, musical and artistic works, cinematographic films and sound recordings. So we saw that definition of copyright में ये क्या क्या areas cover हैं. Cinematography also comes under it, sound also comes under it, literary. तो ये सारी चीजें इसमें cover होती हैं, which is there in the section 14. Now it is not important to remember all the sections, but yes, you should know that what kind of works are covered. So that we know definition of copyright. Under this, related to this act, these are the provisions which will be important for us to solve the case. That's why we are discussing. Rights of the copyright owner. Any copyright owner who is there, उनके क्या क्या rights होते हैं, that also we should know. It includes the reproduction right, that is any work in any material form, including storing it in particular media by like electronic means or anything. They have the reproduction right. They have communication rights to the public, like including broadcasting and sharing on digital platform. Also, they have the adaptation and translation right, the right to make adaptation or translation of the work according to the suitability. तो ये क्या क्या rights हैं, उनको क्या क्या rights होते हैं, ये भी हमें पता होना चाहिए. Talking about the third one, infringement of copyright, section 51. What is infringement of it? Let's discuss. So when a person without a license or permission does anything that the copyright owner has the exclusive right to do, then it is called as infringement. So those sections or related points will be covered here. Then we have fair use doctrine, which means certain acts do not constitute infringement and known as fair dealing, including private or personal use, criticism, review or reporting of current events. But yes, there are certain conditions. It should be fair and reasonable. It should not harm the copyright owner. Now, the last one which we should know, moral rights of the author under section 57, which means that they have right of paternity. They have right to claim authorship of the work. Second, they have right of integrity, which means the right to prevent distortion, mutilation or other modification that would harm the author's reputation. तो जब ये प्रोविजंस आपको पता रहेंगे कि जो ऑथर है उसको क्या राइट्स हैं, द कॉपीराइट ओनर व्हाट ऑल राइट्स दे हैव, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ, सो डेफिनेशन आपको पता है, देयर राइट्स यू नो, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ इन्फ्रिंजमेंट, नाउ यू नो इन्फ्रिंजमेंट, इफ इट इज देयर देन अगेंस्ट दैट वी हैव अ प्रोटेक्शन, फेयर यूज डॉक्ट्राइन, अनरीजनेबल ना हो, रीजनेबल हो, एंड देन वी नो दैट व्हाट आर द मॉरल राइट्स. So when you know this way, this will help you to write a mains answer. This will help you to eliminate the options, because now UPSC is going very specific. It will help you to eliminate the options and prelims, and very importantly, it will also help you to write any case study or essay where you can use such provisions, right? So section याद रखना जरूरी नहीं है, but you should know when it comes to Copyright Act, I should know the definition, I should know my rights, the rights of the authors, then what is the meaning of infringement. ऐसी सारी चीजें आपको पता होनी चाहिए. Now talking about the maxim. This maxim, legal maxim, which is a Latin phrase, which is de minimis non curat lex. ये होता क्या है and why we are talking about it here? Let's understand. This means the law does not concern itself with the trifles. ये जो छोटी मोटी चीजें हैं वो लॉ के दायरे में नहीं आती हैं, एंड ऐसे छोटे मोटे इश्यूज, नॉन ट्रिवियल इश्यूज में लॉ को नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए. सो दैट मैक्सिम हैज बीन यूज्ड बाय द जजेस, बाय द कोर्ट्स often. For example, any minor or trivial infringement that are too insignificant to warrant a legal action may be disregarded by the court. And in fact, दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने इसको यूज किया था 2010-12 में. ऐसा ही कोई एक गेस्ट थे जो किसी टीवी सेट पे इनवाइट किए गए थे, एंड उन्होंने बहुत सारे गाने गाए थे जो कि 1 मिनट से ज़्यादा नहीं था. सो ही sang many songs on that set, basically showing his growth in music. उन्होंने गाया, but the songs, the copyright over those songs were of यशराज बैनर का, यशराज जो कंपनी है उनका उस पर कॉपीराइट था. तो उन्होंने बोला कि भाई ये हमारा कॉपीराइट है. देन कोर्ट ने इसको एनालाइज किया एंड कोर्ट ने ये मैक्सिम बोला कि भाई these are trivial infringement और इसमें कोई आपका किसी का नुकसान नहीं हो रहा है. एंड द इंटेंशन वाज नॉट टू हार्म यू, द इंटेंशन वाज कि उसको अपनी ग्रोथ बता रहा है उस म्यूजिक के थ्रू. सो इन सच केसेस सच मैक्सिम्स हेल्प द कोर्ट टू रीच अ जजमेंट. So these maxims are very important. Now we are talking about a maxim and already I have given you a question. I told you that this question was asked by UPSC in 2022. उसको एक बार देखते हैं. So this question, which one of the following terms represent the maxim no man or person shall condemn unheard? This question has been asked by UPSC 2022 and this video is already there on our YouTube platform and we have discussed it 2 years back itself, where I have discussed in detail what is the meaning of audi alteram partem, what is the meaning of autrefois convict, what is the meaning of, so ये सारे 4 options को मैंने discuss भी किया है. I would want that all of you should go through that video because this is very very important video and it is a signal to us that where our focus areas should be, especially when UPSC is asking questions from these areas as well. When you will go through that video, you will also find this article that under natural justice, which we derive from Article 14 and Article 21, under which evolved and in the Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India case. In that case, we came up, we used the 2 maxims which are the derivatives of the natural justice, nemo iudex in causa sua and audi alteram partem, which means no one should be made a judge in his own case, and rule of fair hearing, which means to hear the other party no one should be condemned unheard. ये legal maxims time to time Supreme Court use करता रहता है. So when you will go through this video, it will help you a lot to develop a holistic understanding. So do not miss to go through this video. हम लोग पॉलिटी में पढ़ते हैं सिने क्वा नॉन, मतलब कि एक एसेंशियल कंडीशन होती है जो कि बहुत नेसेसरी होती है. बट ठीक है, दिस इज पॉपुलर तो याद है हमें. या प्राइम मिनिस्टर के लिए हम पढ़ते हैं प्राइमस इंटर पैरिस द फर्स्ट अमंग इक्वल्स, तो वो भी हमें याद रहता है. Not only that, there was a question in 2014 mains in a globalized world, intellectual property rights assume significance and are source of litigation, broadly distinguished between the terms copyright, patent and trade secrets. जब आप IPR पढ़ते हैं GS3 में, then definitely you will cover it in detail, but you should know that what kind of questions are coming up. And when you see such videos and you are part of the current affairs, if you are following current affairs, then you will be in a position to use or quote that how IPR provisions, be it copyright, patents, they are used and they help us to resolve the legal tussles. Along with this, I also want to cover certain legal maxims in news जो often news में रहते हैं with the help of the cases. For example, this case. For example, this case. I want to discuss that 5 to 6 so that it will help you and it will sharpen your observation and you will be alert whenever such legal maxims are coming up in the exam or in the newspaper. For example, the next legal maxim which I am going to talk about, which was there in the current affairs, was related to the bail plea of Manish Sisodiya. So the legal maxim is nemo iudex in causa sua. That is, no one should be a judge in their own cause. And this was used by Supreme Court, where Supreme Court denied bail to Aam Aadmi Party leader Manish Sisodiya in connection with the Delhi excise policy scam and emphasizing the importance of impartiality in judicial proceedings. Right? Current affairs application. The next legal maxim which I am going to discuss, Supreme Court used it while analyzing the case of abrogation of Article 370. This legal maxim is res judicata, that is a matter already judged. Here the Supreme Court upheld the Union government's 2019 decision to abrogate Article 370, which granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir, reinforcing the finality of its previous judgments on the matter. Got? कैसे ये अप्लाई हो रहा है. एंड द नेक्स्ट लीगल मैक्सिम विच आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस इज रिलेटेड टू द सेम सेक्स मैरिज. उस पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या बोला था. सो द लीगल मैक्सिम विच वाज यूज्ड बाय, विच वाज रेफर्ड बाय सुप्रीम कोर्ट हियर was audi alteram partem, that is, hear the other side. And here the Supreme Court, while declining to legalize same-sex marriage, ensured that all parties were heard, reflecting the principle of fair hearing. Right? तो ये एक और एग्जाम्पल मिला. Another one which I am going to talk about is related to demonetization verdict. And here the legal maxim is actus non facit reum nisi mens sit rea. That is, an act does not make one guilty unless there is a guilty mind. And here, with respect to the demonetization verdict, Supreme Court upheld the centre's 2016 demonetization scheme considering the intent behind the act, thereby applying this maxim. तो अभी तक आपको ये कुछ एग्जांपल्स मिले, एक दो और एग्जांपल्स हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल पैसिव यूथेनेशिया के केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये पैसिव यूथेनेशिया के केस में लीगल मैक्सिम यूज किया था. इवन इन कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन इन ई कॉमर्स, उससे रिलेटेड भी एक लीगल मैक्सिम यूज किया था सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने. So this is it guys. Today we have discussed very good information जो शायद ही आप अपने मन से फोकस करते और you would have paid attention. We have discussed that why legal maxims we should know. We have seen the dispute between these two actors. We have seen what is the story, which legal provisions will come into picture, how prelims question can be asked, how mains questions can be asked, and we have seen that how legal maxims are being used, referred by the courts, by Supreme Court, by the High Courts in their day-to-day judgment, popular judgments. उसका भी हमने example देखा. And we have also seen the previous year question, and there is a practice question waiting for you in our Telegram channel and also in our WhatsApp channel. So after watching this video, go and solve that question. It will help you to get the overall understanding, right? So I have told you what is the way forward. Less known peripheral areas and such applied aspects, you have to be alert. These are the new areas where UPSC is focusing upon. So stay tuned for more such viral करंट अफेयर्स, कॉम्प्लेक्स करंट अफेयर्स, जहां पे आपको लगता है कि ये क्या है और किस तरीके के क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं. एंड ऑल्सो यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम टू ज्वाइन आवर करंट अफेयर्स फॉर प्रीलिम्स, फॉर मेंस, which we are running for 2025. It will help you for in the holistic coverage. So this is what we do for our students. See you all in the next video.